Hello everyone, I am Sachin from GATEtutor. As you all know, we have integrated some new features in our product. One of that is coding, test setting and practicing. So I will tell you or I will tutor you about the new feature of test setting for faculty. So first we need to log in using faculty account. So this is the dashboard of faculty. From here you have to go to test setting. In test setting you have two options as previous, which we in our previous product we had local and global. Local test is for your college student or your stream students, to which you can assign manually. If you select global test, then this test will generate a link which you can share with any student from your college or any other college, and they can attempt this test. So first I'll teach you the flow of local test. Here first you have to select domain. Currently we have three domains: algorithm, data structures and basic programming. In algorithms, if we select any of the subdomain, you can check the questions under that. Here I have selected mathematics subdomain. In that we have currently first question we have count sub-arrays with sum divisible by k. If I select this question, or I have to check any other question, let me just zoom it out. Zoom out. Yeah, okay. Here there is this question. It's a short description about the question. These are the examples, that means what will be the input and what is expected output. Okay, then here are test cases, 5 test cases to evaluate the user's answer based on the code that they have give. Here we have currently 5 languages: Java, C++, JavaScript and Python. This subdomain has 19 questions. From you can choose any one question from this, or you can select multiple question based on your test requirement. Here I am selecting 2 questions. So remember, this is a local test, so we have to assign this test to students which are currently in your college or your class. Here I have to give a test name before I can move forward. So I just type local class test. Hyphen coding. So I have selected 2 questions which have difficulty hard, which are hard in difficulty. So I will set the time for 60 minutes. Here these question, each question by default has 50 marks, but we can update those marks according to our requirement. If we think that this question doesn't deserve 50 marks or it deserves more than 50 marks, then we can change this mark to 30 or any marks you would like. Here this question should become 70, or you can just click on divide equally button, then make it 50 again. If you just click distribute total marks evenly, then here enter 100. Here total marks are 100. So if I click on divide marks equally, each question get assigned 50 marks. The total marks will get divided by n number of questions that you have selected above. So you don't have to manually adjust marks for each question. So okay, Then we have to select start date. This start date doesn't mean that your exam will start as soon as this starts, or student have to attempt it at that time exactly. This is a start window and this is a ending window. That means if you assign test on 4th of July, then user can attempt that test until the date you have selected. If I select 10th of July, then user can attempt that test until that date. Here it's the time on this date, at what time this test should get started. So it's 4th of July. If I set timer to 7:20 p.m. So this test will get start on 7:21 p.m. and ending date. So this currently I have set it to 10th of July. If anyone can attempt this test between this window from 4th of July to 10th of July for 60 minutes, they will get 60 minutes of timing. Okay, so these options are interesting. You need to know this because this is a totally new concept. Okay, enable proctoring. So if you enable proctoring on any exam, any move the exam attempting, the student attempting or candidate attempting, it will be calculated and recorded in the backend. And the test setter, which is faculty or any controller coordinator, they can monitor those actions of the student. So what actions can be there? There are screenshots. If user tries to take screenshot, it will be recorded. If user switches their tab, it will be recorded. If user tries to copy something or paste something, it will get recorded. Everything will be handled in the backend. Okay, but if you only enable this option and skip others, only you will only be able to record the user's behavior, but you don't get notified or you don't get any other actions to perform on that proctoring. You only able to see those options, those actions. But if you click on apply breach rule, here the limit is set to 3. That means if user violates the rule 3 times, he will get disqualified. If he violates the rule first time, then he will get warning. On second time, he will also get a warning. Everything will be recorded in the backend. You can see that on your dashboard. And this option, if you tick this option, then the test will always open in full screen, and even if user tries to exit that full screen, they will get warning. And if they do it 3 times, then the test will get exited and they will get disqualified. Block paste, we have kept this optional, but you can, this is always ticked. If you need your exam to be in your exam to allow copy paste, then you can just skip this option. Here if I have set it to 3, you can see the exact implementation of that option. What will exactly happen? If first violation, they will get warning. On second objection violation, they will get flagged, and on third violation, they will get disqualified. Okay, so this page is totally covered right now. Let me just create this test. Okay, successfully created this test. Now it's time to assign this test. Because this is a local test, we have to assign this test to users which are from your college only. So here there are multiple tests created, and if it's hard to find the test, we have filters here. You can just click on coding test. The first test will be your recently created test. Here we have 6 options. This option is for updating the existing text. If you think that your test needs to be start early, or you need to change the time, you can update the time in earlier past time, but you can update the future time. That means you can set the time test for 1 hour later, but you can't set it if the time has already passed. Okay, so test is gonna start on 721, I'll change this to 20. Here we have other options, all those these options you can just also, here we have give one extra option to maximum attempts. If you think someone needs more attempt, or your test is very hard that user needs to attempt it multiple time, or you need to, it's like if 3 questions are attempted by user and you want them to attempt it again, if their marks are low, then you can just set this to change these attempts to higher number. Here you can update the existing question if you want to. If you want to update any question in the existing exam, you can just remove this question and update it to new question. These are the other questions which you can add for the same exam. Then after that you can just save your changes. Okay, your changes are saved. The second option is to assign your test. Here I have all the users which are registered in this college, particular college. Here these are students, these are faculties, and here you can assign this test to both of the users. Here I am assigning this test to both of the users, so I can just attempt this test from the same account. Here actually these are filters, okay, so you can check this. If you click on this filter, here you will see who are currently attempting this test. From this filter you can monitor which users are disqualified from their exam, or what they have done that got them disqualified. From this essay tab you can monitor which user lost their network and who closed their window, that's why their test is got closed. And this tab, on this completed tab, you can monitor which users have completed their test successfully and submitted all their answers. And here you can check all the users to whom the test is assigned. A means assigned. Here we have third option, it's a copy test link option. If I copy this link is getting copied, and if I go to new tab and paste that link, enter. Okay, so this is a local test, so it doesn't need link. Okay, here we have option to reschedule the existing test. If any test needs to be rescheduled after for any different timing or anything, you can do that from this tab. Here we have monitoring tab, which user have monitored this test, attempted this test, how many are disqualified, what are the total submissions, how many got flagged, how many got warning, pending flags, and how many gave same answer of same question. If 10 users gave same answer for this, submitted same code for a single question, then they will get alerted, they will get tagged as plagiarism. Let me just go back. Okay, and the final option is to delete the created test. You can't delete a test if test is live or someone has already attempted that test, because the results are already there and it's not a right decision to delete an existing test. So that's all with the local test. Now now we will move to the global test.